Right! And people wonder why criminals want to resist arrest at all costs. I mumbled this weakly as the girl with the Nagita tied my wrists together with a rope, and I soon felt myself dragged by the duel towards the city. Surely once we're out of the forest, you two will stop this act of yours and let me go, right? As much as I like to fool around, I have more important things to do. The city? Ha! We're not taking you all the way there. You'll be spending the night in the village cells, thief. Who are you calling a thief? I'm the victim. First I get undies tossed in my face, then I had to deal with physical abuse, and now these accusations? Besides, there's no village around these parts. It's a city, you know. Tsukino Toshi. Silence! Hikage, if he speaks again before we get to the village, you have my permission to knock him unconscious. Sude tyrant. That's funny. And that's how I ended up on my way to a jail cell, cuffed and dragged by two girls, both of who I started to suspect were crazy. When we exited the forest, alarms set off in my mind. The city I'd lived in for my whole life, it was gone. You've got to be kidding me. If I wasn't in Tsukino Toshi, then where the hell was I? Hey, no talking. Come on. I don't want to bop you that much. Kinda. Maybe a punch or two. I just want to know how the heck you blocked my strikes so easily. Your attack had a lot of power behind it, but it was kind of predictable. With the right movement and enough force, that's the result you get. Anyway, I'll play along for a bit. Where in the world are we? This clearly isn't my hometown. I mean, the buildings look more like they belong in some sort of classic samurai movie. Huh? What the heck is a movie? This is Horomu. It's been here forever. Hikage! I thought I told you to silence him if he spoke again. Actually, you told me that I could, but you didn't tell me I had to. Must be tough being the subordinate of someone like that. Be quiet or I will silence you for good. This time, it didn't seem like an idle threat. The girl had unsheathed her katana and was now resting the edge of her blade against my throat. I was already starting to regret having played a hero earlier. Hopefully there'd be someone with more common sense in the village. Several minutes later. I soon found myself confined in a small room, the stern-looking tsundere of a girl glaring down at me, while the other girl, who was apparently called Narumi, seemed to have softened up a little bit. From what I had gathered during their conversations, they'd called the village elder to help oversee my questioning. What purpose did these thefts have? Or are you just some pervert who gets off sniffing girls' undies? I ought to castrate you. I already told you I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not to mention, anything worn by you would probably smell sour. I couldn't see too well from the cell there, where they had put me, but I was almost certain I could hear Narumi laughing nearby. Village elder. Tsukino Dono, please calm down. You brought him in to learn the reason behind this presence in the forest, didn't you? That is correct, Elder Sama. I believe he was working together with the fox spirits to steal, panties and other undergarments. Objection! Huh? What are you objecting to, young man? The evidence surrounding the defendant's accusation was fabricated. Narumi-san, would you please answer the questions for the judge? Was the defendant, that is myself, anywhere near those girls while you two were in pursuit of them? Hold it! Just who are you calling a judge here? Lower your voice or I will strike you down. Hey, Miyu-san, maybe the whole angry accusation thing isn't working. This guy clearly isn't a bandit. We could just ask him why he was up there in the woods. If he has a valid reason, then sure. If not, then he's clearly a panty thief, and we'll use him as a punching bag out in the yard. Finally! And here I thought this was about to become a turnabout case. I sighed deeply, while partly amused by my own act, despite the seriousness of the situation. Who would have ever thought mimicking characters from games and movies would end up getting me out of trouble? As long as I didn't become an ace prisoner, things would hopefully turn out for the better. A wise idea, Narumi-chan. How about you start by giving us your name?